It is no surprise. Politicians often disagree, but one particular disagreement between two Ohio lawmakers getting plenty of attention. It's over a story News 5 has covered extensively, a bill to ban the Confederate flag at county and independent fairs in Ohio. Emily Hamilton spoke to both state reps today for their sides of this story.
District 12 Representative Juanita Brent proposed an amendment to ban the sale and display of the Confederate flag at county and independent fairs. But Representative Kyle Kaler says he can't support the amendment because it's unconstitutional. And they're now both sharing their sides of the story after a tense conversation in the hallway at the State House. Representative Juanita Brent has been steadfast in her approach to ban the Confederate flag at county and independent fairs 5 years after the memorabilia was banned from the Ohio State Fair.
And we can't talk about making the county and independent fairs a place for everyone to go to if we still allow Confederacy memorabilia.
Some of her Republican colleagues, however, stand firm in their stance that banning the flag is a violation of the First Amendment and say they will not support banning the flag.
When I had a conversation with other people about this amendment ahead of time, even though they told me they disagreed with me, they were still respectful in their conversations. And that's all people have to ask for.
Before a committee meeting back in June, Brent says she and several of her colleagues, including District 79 Representative Kyle Kaler, had a tense conversation in the hallway at the State House.
He continued to talk about this amendment, and as soon as he got towards the end of talking, he said, "You," and he walked into the committee room.
In both a written statement and a lengthy phone conversation today, Representative Kaler admitted to using the expletive under his breath after walking several feet away from his colleagues. He insists the expletive was not directed at Representative Brent, but was instead said out of frustration and worry that his disapproval of the amendment would cast him in a racist light, which could affect private matters in his personal life. He went on to say he denounces any form of racism, but that banning the display of Confederate memorabilia would be a violation of free speech, and it should be instead up to county and independent fairs to make those decisions. That amendment has now been tabled at the state level, but Representative Brent says she's working on a bill with similar language to ban the sale of the Confederate flag at both county and independent fairs. Reporting in Cleveland, Emily Hamilton, News 5.
All right, we got a cool down coming, but first another hot day and more storms to get through coming up.
If we got everybody back to school, I think that would be a huge success, not just for Ohio, but for the country.
A local business with a mission to find solutions for customers is now doing the same for schools. The new idea that could help send students safely back to school. Plus, safety may not be the only challenge schools face this year, why many are fearing a shortage of substitute teachers. And man's best friend may be living up to that title. Having a family dog can help even your smallest kids learn social skills. While more people are flying the friendly skies, once again, it is a slow climb and it may take years to get back to normal. The International Air Transport Association says travel activity in June was weaker than expected, and experts now think we may not see 2019 levels until 2024. And business travel may never get back to the level it was before this pandemic, since new technology could have companies cutting back for good. As schools throughout Ohio work to fine-tune their plans for next month's return, most are looking at a hybrid of in-person and online learning. News 5's Jesse Schultz explains how a Brunswick company's new product helps students stay safe when they're inside the classroom.
M-Line is a packaging designer and distributor in Brunswick.
Customers bring us their packaging challenges. We work with different tools and materials to just come up with a solution for them.
The solution is exactly what M-Line's graphic designer John Segru found to one of this year's most pressing challenges: how to get kids safely back in schools.
My girlfriend is a teacher at the Parma City Schools. She really is concerned about her students. So I told her about the project I was working on, and she said it would be great if they had something like that, but it had windows on the sides.
He created the Safe Booth, a plastic see-through cover that fits right on students' desks.
Easy to store. If a student had to carry it from class to class, they could, and then just pop it up on their desk. be ready to learn.
In just a few weeks, word of the Safe Booth prototype spread.
We've been contacted by schools all over the country.
And here at home, too, the company says it's gotten calls from just about every school district in Northeast Ohio. Wycliffe schools have already ordered around 1,600 Safe Booths.
Our plan is for each student to be issued one. It will be their own, and then they take it from class to class with them. We felt that that was an added layer of protection.
M-Line officials hope this Safe Booth can be used for far more than just schools in the future.
I'm really hoping that this could be applied to other institutions, for example, in hospital atmospheres, in nail salons, in courthouses.
But right now, the focus is getting kids safely back to school with the help of some safe booths.
If we got everybody back to school, I think that would be a huge success, not just for Ohio, but for the country.
Reporting in Brunswick, Jesse Schultz, News 5.
What a great idea. There are still a lot of questions about what will happen in schools this fall, including what happens if a teacher gets sick and there's nobody to take over the class. Substitute teachers across the nation are faced with a tough decision. Go back to the classroom if needed. They have to decide if they want to. One substitute teacher recruiting firm says the number of incoming college freshmen majoring in education has been cut in half over the last 10 to 15 years. On top of that, substitute teachers are often older retirees who may not come back because of the health risks. So they're expecting teaching vacancies to increase 50% and the need for subs to go up more than 70%.
We've been working around the clock, even since early spring, anticipating what that demand is going to be. And I think that probably every single school district are going to require substitute teachers.
Some states are changing the rules for substitute teachers to get more of them into classrooms. School plans are changing by the day. Everybody's working to find the best way to get students safely back to school. So we're trying to help out. Tonight, we host a virtual town hall with superintendents from around Northeast Ohio with Frank Wiley. Join us at 6:30. News 5 Facebook page. We'll ask your questions about the challenges that surround heading back to school during this pandemic. Parents these days are using one way of punishing their children less than previous generations. In 2017, 1/3 of parents with children 2 to 12 years old said they spanked their child. In 1993, 1/2 of parents said they did. The American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that parents avoid spanking, hitting, threatening, or humiliating as a way to discipline their kids. Instead, they say they should use positive reinforcement and set limits and expectations. Do your kids keep asking for a dog? Well, here's one reason to get one. Young kids with a dog appear to show better social interactive skills. A new study of kids 2 to 5 years old found those with a family dog were 30% less likely to show antisocial behavior and 30% more likely to share and help others. Darn cute, aren't they? The night sky just keeps on putting on a show for stargazers as we keep checking out the comet Neowise, which we won't see again for another, 6,000 years? The Delta Aquariids meteor shower is about to peak tomorrow. NASA says you can see 10 to 20 meteors per hour as long as it's really dark and the skies are clear. Best time to see the meteors without binoculars or a telescope is between 2 and 4 a.m. They're visible until late August, and the more active Perseids meteor shower, that starts in just a few weeks. So, you don't need the movies anymore. You just stare up at the sky at night, Mark.
Exactly right. We've been doing that since the pandemic began.
Yeah.
So much to see up there. All right, let's show you what's going on this evening. It's going to be clear and starry for you to get outside. Take a look and see if you can find some shooting stars. And this particular meteor shower, they're a little slower than normal, so they don't just streak and disappear. You oftentimes see them go by a little slower. So you may get a pretty good little streak there if you keep an eye out to the sky. Isolated storm chances tomorrow, upper 80s Wednesday, but then after the front goes by tomorrow night, we cool it down, 70s and lower 80s all the way through the weekend and into next week. So excellent weather for you. All right, let's bring up our current live picture from First Energy Stadium. A few cumulus clouds. It's 83 degrees. Humidity is lower, 44%, so that's not bad. It was a comfortable afternoon to get outside. 84 in Akron, 85 in Canton and Dover, New Philly, Mansfield, Ashland, Norwalk, Sandusky, all at 84. 80 for Ashtabula, 82 in Ravenna. Highs today. Generally lower and middle 80s. Dover and Philly did hit 87. Akron and Canton, 86. Pollen counts are low across the board. Good news. I'm not going to argue. We're all breathing a little bit better, I think.